Welcome, everyone. Hopefully, we maintain the electrons going through our Cat 5 cables this week. Otherwise, this will also be spicy and unfortunate. We'll start with some hubbub from the internets. One is it seems that the owners of these wonderful cars are still waiting for center locks. I heard from Peter Track Car on Facebook, on the Facebook group with the 992s, that his car has been there since October 25th. Happy Whiskey Friday, Orist. What's going on? His car's been there since the 25th. They do not know when they're going to get parts, and he has now missed 2 track days in Florida, including Winterfest, which is a big deal, and he's thinking of buying a Corvette. So there's that. And cheers to you, brother. Some 16-year, bless you. Old granddad. It's quite nice. It's got just the teeny tiniest bit of that old whiskey funk, that barrel funk, but otherwise it's like drinking cherry syrup. It's a heavy rye mash bill. It is delicious. It was procured and hence delivered to us by our good friends at McCallum and Sons, our preferred provider of whiskeys, especially fine whiskeys like this one. We've got a couple more, and I still owe him some money. So, Glenn, don't come and repossess the whiskey because you can see that some of it's already been ingested. I just had far busier afternoon than I expected. I will pay you before I go to dinner. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So center locks are still a thing, and Porsche, in their magnanimousness, if that's a word, gave all affected $500,000 GT3 RS owners a pretty picture on a piece of paper. Isn't that nice? That's nice. So pretty. So stupid. Oh, was that in the way? All right. So yeah, we also, one of our customers and friends sent us a video to look at. What's going on, Larry? Happy Whiskey Friday. Cheers, gentlemen. So the first full week in January. Delicious. We were sent a video that curiously seemed like a rebuttal or a hey, but our stuff's good too attempt from a competitor in Germany. I'll leave it at that. Should be pretty obvious. Not gonna call them out specifically because they tried to call us out with statements. I think Philip will remind me. The gist was something along the lines, yes, there are other packages out there where the companies have bought parts that they think are best and put them on the car and claim that it's best, but we design the parts based off of the car's issues and from a final goal. Yeah. They had a vision and a final goal. That's cool. So I'm not sure who they're talking about because I know they're not talking about us because we also design our parts and design from a place of end goal in mind, seemingly more free than they would claim they are. Yeah. So, things like, well, if your alignments are optimum for the duty at hand, how is it you're able to achieve those alignments with all of the stock suspension arms on the car? Because you can't get there from here. But there you go. And how is it that only they have issues with brake lines? Yeah, I didn't watch it, but everybody here watched it. It was 42 minutes long. I was like, damn, we're trying to condense our shit into like 10 minutes and get to the point because we know no one's got that kind of attention span. it was funny. So they do a head to head. They're doing it on the GT4 RS. So it was their GT4 RS suspension and aero package. That should limit it down a bit for you.
I hit their name.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, final goal being delivering underwhelming at a higher cost. Maybe, I don't know. So you can see the benefit of and this is what's curious is this is a stock Cayman GT4 RS. And so the question is it bone stock? Meaning, did they take it from the Porsche factory settings on alignment and then go out and run a lap time? And if so, they probably get that second just by putting reasonable alignment on it. Not bone. Yeah, so a lot of questions.
They did both have Cup 2Rs. They put brand new Cup 2Rs.
Oh, they both put Cup 2. They have Cup 2Rs on them. Both of them had Cup 2Rs. Okay. So then they for sure as shit should have given that car an alignment because Cup 2Rs don't even work at like negative 1.8. So, yeah. Oh, they did give it an alignment. Okay. So regular 4RS with Cup 2R and an alignment. I missed that part. Thank you, Eric. That's helpful. I was like, they had to put an alignment on the car. They're just going to eat the tires because that's just dumb. And even with that, they're handicapping it because they could get much more alignment and make the car even better had they done that. So, thank you. Thank you, Tyrone. That's helpful. Yeah. And what's sad is when we did our testing, our stock baselines were with an alignment on the stock. They were on Cup 2s. They were, with the brake fluid changed, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot in the video that makes you kind of go question mark, right? And, our stuff went as fast as a GT3 RS, and that's crazy. Those are Cup 2Rs. Did they have Cup 2Rs on the GT3 RS?
Oh, that they compared it to later in the video? I'm not sure.
Because that's question mark. If it's got Super Sport Rs, then those that modified Cayman with Cup 2R should have clobbered it. Shouldn't have been close, especially the first lap out. So like I said, I didn't watch it, but I did feel called out in the video. And Barry did as well, because he wrote me earlier. Barry Miner, our customer in Texas. And he's like, how they're answering these questions sure seems like the way that I laid them out, the way that they didn't do it. So I'll give you for instance. It seems very much that this particular company wants you to buy a package and never touch it. Never needs, on both cars, also on the GT3 RS? Tyrone, do you remember? So like in this graph, I don't know. So like the 992 that they reference at this particular racetrack.
I can't remember if they mentioned the tires that were on the 992.
Still is of interest because, we had very similar lap times. I think Ted, after MCS on our car, is only a whole 0.3. Got it. So Ted, until very recently, the 4RS was faster than our 3RS. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. So anyway, where I was going with this is it seems very much that this company does not want you to adjust things or have the ability to adjust them because look where they put the suspension adjusters. Oh, we're getting there. The 3RS was run at 50 degrees Fahrenheit, so quite a bit colder. All right. Tires unknown. Gotcha. I would assume stock tires then, unless it was part of their test. Because if that was just a customer car, et cetera, that might be.
I think they just threw that in there for comparison's sake, whether it was
Right.
accurate or not.
Came in for the win. Nice, Larry. So we're trying to get our pictures off of our, there we go. So if you notice on the left, the adjustment for rebound and compression low speed and high speed, are in the fender well. So take the tire, jack the car up, take the tire off, then you can change clicks. Now, absolutely, just like us, they have a recommended setup for the car. And I'd say for most people on most tracks, you shouldn't need to adjust it. But if you're going to spend $50,000 on something, you probably should know that you can and understand what those changes will do when you want to make them. You know, like with Larry and with Barry and with is it Mike? Is it really Larry, Barry, Ricky, and Mike? No? Am I dating myself? So you want to have the adjustments available to you relatively conveniently. So and to me, putting the adjusters where they're going to get covered in dirt and all that just seems like not a great idea. Didn't design it. Don't know. Anywho, there's that part. Not great. They were honest about some things. They did say that the car does not have a splitter. Thank you for that. That's appreciated because many people are claiming that it did. It does not. Ours does, and it makes lots and lots of downforce. Matt, not Mike. Thank you, Larry. Yeah, not. No, you do not, Paul. You just need to write numbers down and leave them alone. Whatever happened to your car, that seemed intentional. Somebody like clicked a bunch of clicks and then didn't click them back, or they clicked wrong from high to low on one side and low to high on the other, because yours were all over the place for some reason. So, yeah, I'm taking you as an outlier because everybody else seems to be able to count. Just say it that way. Maybe it was the British schooling. Not sure. But counting is fundamental. So there's a little bit of a tunnel. So lip equals splitter. So that's the stock tunnel.
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Literally, he called it a flat. They just flattened it completely.
Yeah, interesting. And they claim that their reinforced brake lines are a requirement because the pedal will increase in travel by more than double without them. Seems our results may vary. You're also the CDI, so I do have to try and be nice to you on occasion, even though you give better than you get most of the time, Paul.
It was a so-called driving instructor talking about the brake lines.
It was a so-called driving instructor talking about the brake lines. They're a must-have. Interesting. I'd say high-temp brake fluid is a must-have because I don't know anybody out here, given the wild ride that Ted had in a beautiful red car with brake lines that failed, made by Spiegler. And I'm pretty sure these are made by Spiegler. There aren't too many flexible brake line manufacturers in the world. Sure looks like it. So anywho, that's yeah, it does look like they made it in carbon. Why didn't they give it that? That's a carbon part. Why didn't guys, what the hell? Give it an adequate. That feels like intentional handicapping looking at that part. That's an expensive stock piece. I don't understand. That is a nice looking yellow car. Yes, sir. That car is also an outlier. That car is just fast. That car fast.
Well,
Let's compare. Yeah. And this is the same, for those of you who don't know, this is the same splitter. The brake lines are carbon and flexible. That's curious. And not able to have brake fluid come through them. Also curious. So you can see the size of the tunnel on ours. Also, our splitter has a curvature, much like the working surface of the bottom of a wing, and that's the point of our splitter, is to generate more downforce on the front of the car, not to mitigate drag on the front of the car. We also don't have the same boundary conditions. What is the best exhaust setup? Brother, that's like saying what flavor, what are the flavors of ice cream? We'll let Taj handle that one in the chat, so that way we don't get derailed. Thank you, Ted. That one, that's the most fun one, but it might not be the best for you. Straight pipe on a GT4 is rough, brother. That's just noisy, not fun. So it is curious that what would be best, I'll say it this way, what would be best is if we could have an honest head-to-head between all of the purveyors of packages for the cars, all on the same set of tires, all have them go out, right? We'll run our full package with everything we've got, which includes power and aero and brakes and wheels and all of it. Great. And we'll let the other guys show up, you know, be they Manti or SSR, or I don't know who else is building a full package anymore. I don't think there's, for the 4RS, I don't think there's many. So that would be ideal. Until that day, the best that we can do is look at the data sets. And our data sets, 5 seconds faster. And it was driven by Paul. It was driven by Francis. It was driven by Doug. It was driven by Ted. It was driven by me. And all of us went 5 seconds faster from the stock car to our version of the car. Was it on the same tires? No, it was not on the same tires. Were the tires all of it? You got to be freaking kidding me. No, they were not. So, because we still were on street tires. We ran Goodyear Supercar 3Rs as our lab rat package for the GT4 RS, and we ran Cup 2s as stock. Now, are Cup 2Rs faster than Supercar 3Rs? I think they are, but not for very long. So we tried to pick a tire that is quick and cost-effective, maybe, for the package. We try and put our customers' needs. I put what I would want somebody to sell me in mind when we do these kinds of things. So when I heard that the big bad mothership had taken time to test a car that is not the most current car, and meaning the 4RS, on American soil, and try and duplicate our testing methods, I was flattered a bit. That's kind of cool. That means that they're worried about us. I guess we're doing something right. Also, the 4 of you that bought packages over the holiday, thank you for that. Also, thank you to Barry for being a wonderful advocate for us, putting out videos with his honest opinion. After he bought the parts, we have not compensated him in any way other than thank you. You know, great job. Anything like that. Any questions he's got, we help him out. I just did that. Rewind, Alex. How do you compare your company versus Manti? We're unbounded. We do not have 500 engineers nor $1 billion worth of budget to throw at projects, but we are quite scrappy, and we design all of our parts ourselves, and we do them one at a time. So yeah, we can make it as fast as we want. So what's interesting is we can make it as unlimited as we care to, because we don't have to slot it in between the GT4 RS with a kit on it can't be faster than a 992 with a kit on it, or can't be faster than a 992 GT3 RS stock. It absolutely can be. It can be as fast as it can possibly be. That's what we want. Let's just modify them all. Let's get them all super fast and easier to drive. There were a couple comments in the video that I do agree with. A couple of the guys were saying, well, why should you modify them? Yes, and the best test driver. Absolutely. In sofas and 3 points with no Hans. That's the guy that should be driving them. I do agree with some of the comments that were in, and I don't know if it was the interviewer or the guys that were being interviewed that said it. It was that the point of the parts is to make the car faster, yes, but more so to give the owner of the car more confidence that the car can do what they want it to do. They did this test at Autobahn Club in Indiana, I think is where they did it. So it must have been done during the summertime, and they just released the video now. So it's taken a minute, because I would not test the car now in the snow. It'd be fun, but I don't think it's going to go very fast. So I 100% agree with what they said, and I will pat myself on the back because I believe that they pulled that from something I've said a long time ago, that the reason to do these modifications is to give you more opportunity to get comfortable in the car. Outside Chicago, thank you. They said Indiana. I suppose Indiana is outside of Chicago at some point. It must be Illinois. We're all here in Washington. All those I states are all the same. Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Idaho, all the same, right? They're all kind of the same thing, right?
65 degrees.
So 65 degrees versus 50 degrees? Yeah, give me a break. 65 is not hot. And if you're calling that elevated temperatures, then get out of here. Get out of here. Anyway, to give the owner an opportunity to experience the car with kind manners. He raced there in Mustangs. Of course he did. Ted could probably get... So, curious, what were your lap times in Mustangs there, Taj? Mustangs with big old heavy Mustangs with race tires on them. He'll come back to us. Giving the customer the ability to be comfortable in their car and explore the limits easily, comfortably, without it doing bitey, snappy things is kind of the point, right? This is what Barry's found when he put the parts on his car. He's like, it was easier for him to explore going a little deeper, taking different lines through the S's. The car had much improved stability. Much improved stability. So I do agree with them in that way. A couple other things is that differentiates what we're selling to what they're doing is for them, you have to buy the whole package, all of it, all at once. And it's however much it is, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. I don't know. Ours, you can tiptoe your way. You can dip a toe in the water. And you can start with just suspension arms. But the nice thing is you don't have to get rid of those suspension arms when you want to keep going. You keep those suspension arms and you add to it. You can add our dive planes to the front. Yeah, exactly. We're selling to good track day drivers, not F1 teams. 100%. 100%. And the point is about making the driver comfortable and making the car envelope faster. And that's why it's important to have a pro drive the car, because they're the one that tests the limits to tell you that the car's faster. But also amateurs have to drive the car, because the fact that the car's faster and a bitch to drive isn't the point. I should be able to drive the delta between what I'm able to achieve in the car as an amateur and what Ted's able to achieve in the car should be pretty damn close. Should be pretty damn close. He should be able to eke out a little, obviously a faster lap time because he's a pro. An out of practice pro, but still a pro. And I think given the opportunity, Ted could be faster yet with many more hours in the car and repetition and, headspace as only being a race car driver when we're there doing testing. But I kind of disagree with Paul on the standpoint that only Ted should be the test driver. we should have amateurs in all the cars, because the amateurs will show weaknesses in the setups faster than a pro will, because a pro will drive around them. So yeah, you and me both, brother. We both spun it. So, but that's only because you're greedier than me. I'm not that greedy. The car still is scary, although I've been working on that. Cup car is a whole nother thing, which there is a great bargain available right now. There's a $145. Yes, and the amateur is also buying the parts. Word up. The pro won't buy fix-it-up parts. Occasionally, that's actually not true. We have had pros buy fix-up parts, mod parts for their GT cars because they like them. They want them to go faster. Exhausts out of that. There's a $145,000 991.2 cup available with 60 hours on it. Like 60 hours from new. It's with ABS, the whole shebang, and I'm like, $145K, that is a bargain. That is a bargain. And anybody not wanting to throw down $400,000 for a GT3 RS, I'd be looking over there, because you buy that, somebody's used trailer, get yourself a used truck, you're in it for under $200K, and clobbering people at the DEs, just clobbering them and having a blast, because cup cars are super fun. Even driving a fast car slow, the cup car is still fun. Might be a little bit more pricey than driving a Miata fast, but it sure is fun. That gear whine in there is something special. But anyway, absolutely. Yes, ABS, Ted. It's got all of it. It's got cool suit. It's got, I mean, it's a screaming bargain. Dave Taylor for the win. He's
Like the straw that broke the camel's back. Who's gonna buy that thing?
right. He's like, wait, ABS? Come again? Yeah, and we're gonna Paul, to that point, we're gonna cut up that video and kind of republish it in, I won't say in response to, but at least to make sure people can find it with the berries. It's weird that, I mean, we did the 4RS testing, was it 2 years ago already? 3 years ago? No, it's been 2 years ago, because the 992 GT3 was first, then the 4RS. It was 2 years ago. And it's like everybody's starting to catch up now. So, Barry's videos are out, and some of our competition are putting videos out, trying to, bring that to bear. So yeah, it's good. It's flattering. It means we're doing the right things. Do you have anything queued up from when Ryan was here?
Under the impression that we were gonna hold that.
Maybe just a couple pictures. Just a group of us looking at the car is enough. We'll go through all the details of it, but that's right. Yeah, just under 2 years. Yeah, otherwise we would have put you in the car, Larry, because we would have had the GT4 versus the 4RS. And you're the only one technically that had been driving. Well, you and Francis, middle engine Porsches. So everybody else was 911 guys. Novin, all those popping wheelie in our the wheelie popper in our end of year video. So we did spend some time with the 3RS all naked with Ryan from Zebulon here. He was here on Monday because we got all our scans done. He's doing CFD on it. Got a cool video coming up for you guys on the process in which we scan the car, digitize everything, what those point clouds, what you have to do with them to actually make them into a usable CAD surface or solid body. And it's not simple. It's not like an easy button where you like hit it with lasers and then poof, you've got a thing that you can use. There's a lot of work that happens in between the brush, the spraying it with foot powder, and the Orist was here as well. So for those of you who don't know, Orist is our we have hired him as our carbon manufacturing consultant so that we don't do stupid things and we aren't reliant on our suppliers as much as we have been. that was probably as telling as I would like to be without telling. So, but Orist has helped out a lot. He's like, I've gotten a lot of what the fuck kind of really? They're asking you to do what kind of situation. So he's been very, very helpful. He's helping us a ton, which is great. He's for those of you who don't know, Orist currently works for a large airplane manufacturer, and he before that worked selling laser beams, be they cutting things or welding things or writing things. He worked with laser beams, so smart dude. And before that, he worked in carbon manufacturing as one of the guys figuring out the tooling. How are we going to cut this? How are we going to QC this? How are we going to measure this? And you just general manufacturing engineering. So he comes with a wide breadth of experience and capability, which I am very thankful and feel very lucky that we get to tap into on an hourly basis, which is nice. And it's a reasonable charge. It was less than he wanted to charge me, but there's some things he wants from us because he's a Porsche guy. So works out for us. All right, so we got. You can blow that up full screen. I'll try and explain a little bit what we're looking at. So in the foreground, a little bit fuzzy with the watch in the picture. That's Ryan's ear and some of the bottom of his nose and his hand. Ryan is a mechanical engineer. Him and his twin brother run Zebulon MSC, and his brother works for Penske and was the lead engineer for, of course, or else you earn them. They're not given. You earn them. There he is. So he's on the team that won Le Mans. That's Ryan with JDX, and that's his brother. They are twins. I didn't know that, but makes sense. And they're some smart mofos. Him and his brother have designed a number of time attack packages, aero packages for DP Daytona prototype cars, for Civics, for Lotuses, for us, for a number of folks. So very competent. They eat and breathe motorsports. Also, this is curious, Ryan got his master's degree in quantitative risk management. For those of you who are in the finance side of things, that means he's a quant. He is one of the guys that would be on Wall Street figuring out the price of options and what things you are trending correctly and all the technicals and all that good stuff. So, not normally. Undeserved praise is empty words. So Ryan was here. I've never met his brother, but I'm assured that one day I shall, because we had the RS all apart, and there were some interesting, tasty tidbits in the front of the car. The way the air gets ducted to the brakes, and there's bleeds off of the tunnels with the flaps and all this bit. And we're like, this is really cool. I've said nice things about you, Paul, just not to your face. I got to keep it right. You know, I'd say nice things about you behind your back. So, the RS is going to be interesting. And the cool thing was Ryan was like, so how wild can we make this? I'm like, take the gloves off. Let's take the gloves off. The car's already ridiculous. So let's not handicap ourselves. So we put our current splitter up there. We will need a redesign. The RS is slightly wider than our current design, but we kind of have that dialed. We kind of have that figured. Probably be a new mold, some other things, but it's doable. And so that's, you know, with Orist, it was actually Orist. It was like, yeah, this, that, some inserts, this, pang, good. We can Build both splitters out of one thing. Done. We got some surprises in store for you, so that I'll leave those for later once we actually do this. There will be some new wing components. There will be some new front components. Boy, Ted's digging for me over here. That's great. So yeah, there'll be some more things. We actually have some suspension stuff that we're working on to complement the gains that we'll see in the aero department. Ryan's pretty excited because we took the gloves off and there's a lot of cool shit that's kind of bubbling right now. We're just getting started. There's not going to be anything available here. I mean, probably even 6 months, because molds take time, building parts takes time, designing the parts take time. We're starting to hit Ryan in his busy season. He'll be at Daytona here in a week or two to help a fledgling Cayman team out to go fast at Daytona. So anyway, very proud of our team. Very proud that, I mean, I feel like I'm about to pat myself on the back, but that we've been able to create an atmosphere here at Dundon Motorsports by which external resources are interested to work with us, and they're compensated for their work, and it's goal aligned so that we're not competing with one another or stepping on each other's toes. Like I wrote Ryan a 5-digit check at the end of the year 2024 for some of the commissions ongoing for somebody lurking. Hi, Aaron. For the parts that he's designed for us from 2 years ago that we sold over the course of the year, which was great. I mean, I love being able to write those kinds of checks for guys that he wasn't expecting. He's like, holy shit, you guys are selling a lot of these. I was like, it's because they work really well and all their friends tell their friends and they like them. So, you know, kudos to you for a great design and for our partnership, which is great. And that's why he popped up here on essentially a day's notice. Jumped on an airplane and popped up. Nice. Would love to come out to Sebring. Don't tempt Ted and I with a good time, Leo. Don't tempt us with a good time. You know, we got you. We got Simon. Simon's rocking the full package. You got those silly JRs. I'm kidding. He's got JRZs on his car, which are very competent. I am not going to denigrate a shock supplier. That's fine. So very cool. And I think you only got one lap, didn't you, Leo? And then you got black flag, something like that. So, yeah, on 200 treadwear 660s, that's flying. So, yeah, we do need to make a swing through Florida in the winter. Yep, with Simon. Go by, see the boys at Orbit. Go down, see Zweck. Get our ass down to Miami. Actually, this is the weekend to be doing it. It's DRT. So Das Renntreffen is this weekend, I think. I think it starts this weekend. Jesus is out there with his 911R, with this fancy Inconel muffler and some Super Squirrel secret headers that we don't talk about from a Cup car. Yeah, it'd be good. Be good to go to Florida. Maybe we'll send Ted on a little excursion. Ted and Justin on a little Florida gambit. Go get some videos. When is Peter will know this, and Peter might be lurking. Peter, when's Winterfest, or did it already happen? Actually, Taj might know this as well. Ted might know this, or Leo might know this. Honestly, yeah, I don't think we have any pics of Leo's car handy. It's red. It's pretty. I've never seen a Guards Red GT4, so it's a cool setup. And man, carbon from our parts and Guards Red always go so nice together. Seth, also one of our good friends, Dad passed. Condolences to Seth and his family. It was pretty sad. Pretty sad. Dad died of cancer. Big hole in that guy on the right. Nicest guy you'll ever meet, and his daddy was his hero. So condolences to you, brother, and we're here for you when you're ready. Seth is getting a Mustang though. He's converted to Ford only because Porsche wouldn't play nice. So he's getting a GTD, which I think he's keeping his GT3 RS. So we'll see. We'll see. Smokies is a few months away. It is technically a GT car. It just has a D on it. So oh shit, that's coming up quick. Winterfest is the 17th? Eek.
We'll have to go eat Vietnamese.
Mm-hmm. That's our holiday jam got punted because everybody was on vacation and all that bit till the 18th. So you guys can't go to Winterfest, but there's always shenanigans going on in Florida in the winter. So not a big deal. Yeah, absolutely. Rest in peace, Bobby. Go sit on that chair in Montana and show them all what's up. I don't have a whole lot else for you guys. There's a bit of an update. What's been going on? We got some videos going to be dropping. Been doing a lot of crap in the background. Like here's one for you. Those of you with small businesses. Learned today. This is folly. This will probably chap Ted's hide a little bit. So typically, when you are a small business and you use a credit card merchant provider, when you refund someone's money, this merchant account will refund you the charges that the credit card charged you for the convenience of taking that customer's money on their credit card. So it balances out. I believe that is a law in the United States. I don't know this for sure. I'm going to ask our lawyer on Monday because it's late on a Friday and lawyers don't work late on Fridays. So that's fine. At least our lawyer doesn't. Unless some shit's on fire, and then he does. And I don't want to pay that rate. It's not that important. Can wait till Monday. Shopify, which is great for a lot of things, I learned today, does not refund the credit card fees that they take when a customer buys something when you refund the customer on the same credit card. And that has changed since we signed up with Shopify. So those of you who are using Shopify, those of you who are in the world of doing your own business, that 3% adds up. We did. Yeah. We've been working with our dealers to try and get wire payments. That's helped a lot. We will continue to try and implement that. We're likely going to move some things around because of that. I'll talk to the team on Monday about it a bit more. So some of you guys are getting a little bit of a head start. Alex will probably watch this over the weekend and be like, wait, what? So 3% doesn't sound like a lot, but it adds up. It adds up. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, makes me cranky just because, right. Yeah, they took 3% for the trouble of getting it and not refunding it, and then they kept it because it cost them money to do it. No, it cost me money to do it, asshole. It didn't cost you shit. You're just the gateway that's sending the electrons around. Screw you. Anyway, anybody out there with a great ability or app to some fintech all-star that wants to open up an ability for like an ACH processing we're getting all technical and financial here at the end of the day. You can blame old granddad here. It's always his fault. It actually is quite tasty. Ted, we'll save some of this for you. It's quite delicious.
Kind of good.
Even my not all the time whiskey bros are like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is delicious. So, anywho, any questions for me before we sign out? And Paul, I have told you what a great job that you've done with the team that you guys assembled versus the previous regime in the PCA Northwest. You've made it fun. You make it. We got a Michter's 10-year in the box down here. I'm excited for that one. But anyway, Paul, you have single-handedly made it so that Dundon Motorsports comes to all the PCA events and spends money at them. Will actually donate to them. I wouldn't have given that last regime a freaking red cent ever. So kudos to you. If you can do the same thing with this other organization here in the Northwest, we're going to have a plethora of really kick-ass track days, bro. So kudos to you, Paul. You know what your customers want. And at the end of the day, that's the most important thing. If you know what your customers want and can advocate for them, they will always love you. They will always love you. So cheers to that. I'm just full of great advice. And Larry, I will talk to Mike about that. So we do have a number of providers. It's just how to integrate them with Shopify to make it convenient for guys to actually, so there's no friction. It all gets so damn complicated. Just show up with a stack of $100 bills and I'll give you goodies, right? Why can't we go back to the 1980s when everything was drug fueled? Everybody had piles of cash, could pay in, ass, grass, or cash, and all that good stuff. So, or however that goes, cash, grass, ass, grass, something like that. Got to be careful who I say that around. So, cheers, gents. Wonderful weekend. Looks like we'll have a nice one up here. I might even try and get out on the bike, which would be fantastic. Dougie would be proud of me if I did. Yeah, until next week, who knows what's going to happen. Talk to you guys.